So spontaneous and unexpected. Thank you. Hey, thanks for being here. We've got a great You know, every month I say we have a great episode, but and I've only lied a couple of times. Today's a really good one, and we appreciate you being here. Thanks for coming out and braving the summer weather here in Mesa, Arizona, and also taking a chance on being here on Friday the 13th. But I know you're going to be glad you're here. Let's thank, first of all, let's do the thing we do every month. Now would be a great time to silence your cell phone. You don't have to turn it off, but just turn it to silent, your cell phone or any other communication device you might have. That is a courtesy to those around you and those on stage. If your phone does go off during the show, we'll consider that a $20 donation to the United Food Bank. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind, too, even if your phone doesn't go off, you can always contribute to the United Food Bank. There's a lot of hungry people out there that need your help. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors, starting off with Crescent Crown Distributing. What a great place to have a meeting. Thanks, Crescent Crown. Also including Alpha Graphics, Gateway Bank, East Valley Tribune, Yvonne Martinez Photography. Yvonne couldn't be here today, so we have a guest photographer, Jan Vital. I think Jan's around here somewhere, so there she is right there. Thank you, Jan, for being here. Breakfast today sponsored and provided by the Cracker Barrel. So thank you, Cracker Barrel. Always a great place to have breakfast. I'll never forget, years ago, my Cracker Barrel experience that stands out. Years ago, I was touring in the Midwest, and I was having a lunch at a Cracker Barrel, and it was during a tornado warning. And I was thinking, you know, there's no worse place to be during a possible tornado than inside a Cracker Barrel. You look around, there's like pitchforks, farm implements. Well, yeah, this isn't gonna end well. But Cracker Barrel is always a great place to eat. We'd like to thank Waxy Sanitary Supply for the kind donation of attendee bags. Hopefully you'll get a bag on your way out. It's got all kinds of goodies from sponsored by chamber members. If you'd like to have your business represented in the goodie bag, stop and talk to any of the staff on your way out. So, without further ado, let's kick off July's episode. Our sponsor guest this month is a friend of mine. I met her a few months ago. What a dynamic company. Please put your hands together and welcome today's sponsor guest. Her designs and contributions can be seen throughout Caliber's portfolio of investments, including the $8.5 million renovation of the Crowne Plaza Phoenix Airport Hotel and a $10 million renovation of the Hilton Tucson East. She'll tell you all about that. She's a co-founder of Caliber and currently serves as the company's president and chief operating officer. Please welcome Jennifer Schrader. Jennifer, come on up. Good to have you here. Thanks for being here. Welcome to Mesa Morning Live. I'm sure your life is complete now. You've been on the show you've always wanted to be on.
Dreams came true.
Dreams came true. I like that. I met Jennifer a few months ago when I did an event for Caliber. I researched the company before I did so, and wow, what a dynamic upward move you guys are in. Tell us a little bit about who Caliber is, how you got started, and what your vision is.
Well, I'll try to make it short, but Caliber is currently headquartered in Scottsdale. However, we have holdings in Arizona, Utah, Nevada. We say the greater Southwest, and for us, that includes Alaska. Little geography tweaking there, but we are a vertically integrated real estate investment firm. We serve our clients by allowing them to invest in real estate through passive investments such as our funds. One of the things we're most excited about is our new investments in Mesa.
Yeah, tell us about that. You're very involved with downtown Mesa, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. We currently have 8 buildings in downtown Mesa, just off of Main Street. Most of those are historic. And for me and for the company, any opportunity that we have to get involved in historic buildings, adaptive reuse, bringing life back to a town that we absolutely love ourselves, is just a big, huge win for us.
So when you talk about historic buildings, you're talking about, do you have an example of maybe?
I do. So one of my favorites is the old Coors distribution building. Sits just off of Main Street. And that one we went in, looked at it and said, they used to distribute beer out of here. How about we bring back a brewery or maybe a cider facility? So lots of good plans for that one.
That's very cool. I know, speaking of buildings that used to host beer, How about this place, huh?
This is fantastic.
There's 1 million cases on the other side of that wall, so stick around after the show.
I wasn't sure if I was coming today, and then I saw where it was, and I'm here.
It's a good reason to be here. Thank God it's Friday. Well, tell us about, you say 8 buildings.
Yes.
Are you, by the way, if anybody's got a question, you can raise your hand and we'll cover that. What's your vision? What kind of restaurants do you want to, what's the vibe you want to create for downtown Mesa?
So, when I look at downtown Mesa, it's not a place that we want to bring in chain restaurants and box stores. It's something to me that it has a lot of nostalgia to it. It has a wonderful community. So we're looking at bringing in restaurants, possibly an escape room, family-oriented activity type businesses, anything that's real collaborative, something that we can get families out to really activate the entire downtown.
Escape room. Has anybody done an escape room, by the way? Is it as fun as it sounds? Just looks like you're paying money to be abducted, but but hey, whatever. That's awesome. Well, that's cool because Mesa's got kind of that, and we've got a lot of multi-generational families represented here. Mesa's kind of a Mayberry, you know?
It is.
And there's a way to modernize that and not lose that flavor, but still bring in some hip and stuff that's going on.
Absolutely. There's not too many towns in Arizona that have that historic value to them. It's such a new state, and I myself come from the Midwest where just about every town had a central downtown to it, and it was somewhere where you went for ice cream. You generally went to the boutique stores. There was always something there that had historic value to it. And in my opinion, Arizona doesn't have nearly enough of that. And so to be able to participate and bring something to that, like that to Mesa is just exciting for us.
That's very cool. Well, you mentioned that a lot of people in this room want to be real estate investors, but maybe not all of them can write a check for $10 million to do that. But there's smaller ways that you can be part of a bigger group.
Yeah, there's actually, you can invest with us directly into Mesa through our Caliber Diversified Opportunity Fund. It gives investors who don't want to have a hands-on experience or maybe don't have the time or the expertise, who don't want to change toilets, who don't want calls in the middle of the night on 4th of July about the air conditioning going out, to participate and be part of bringing downtown Mesa back to life, but not have to do the heavy lifting.
Tell us, it doesn't have to be just Mesa, tell us valley-wide some of the big home runs that you guys have hit.
So one of my favorites is the Phoenix Hilton Airport, just south of the airport. That for us was a home run. We also have the Crown Plaza Phoenix Airport, as you had earlier mentioned. We've flipped numerous homes in the valley. We've got several apartment buildings. So we really invest in just about any opportunity in real estate where we can either add value or obtain cash flow for our investors.
And I'm sure your track record is pretty lofty, because at the event I did for you, there were all kinds of people wanting to be a part of the investment team at Caliber.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have a great team in place and also have a wonderful, wonderful group of investors.
That's great. You ever thought about doing HGTV? They do that flip the house, which, by the way, that's, I think that's the cause of more divorces. Hey, honey, we ought to flip a house. They did it last night on TV in less than an hour. And so maybe you guys ought to do a flip this building kind of a show.
We joke about it often, and then we don't.
Yeah, that's better judgment takes hold. Well, I know you're going to hang around, hopefully going to hang around a little bit afterwards if anybody's got any questions.
Absolutely.
If after they leave today, they think, I'm a little curious about this Caliber, do you have a web presence? How can people track you down?
CaliberCo.com is the easiest way to reach us. We've also got a couple of Caliber team members sitting in the audience today, so anyone that wants to stop in and say hello to them, they're here.
There you go. All right. Checks are accepted?
Checks are absolutely accepted.
All right, cool.
Yeah. I think they may even have investment documents with them.
That's planning ahead. Good job. Well, we appreciate, most of the, round of applause if you live in Mesa. Round of applause if you think that it would be cool to have more stuff to do in downtown Mesa. Well, Jen and her team at Caliber are making sure that that happens. So thank you for being a big part. We'll look back on this day and say, wow, they really had some good ideas.
Well, hopefully we can come back and check in at some point, let you know what we're doing with the buildings. One thing I just want to mention before we leave is that it's very, very important to us to preserve the historic nature of those buildings. So you're not going to see us knocking those down and building brand new modernized buildings. You're going to see the historic brick. You're going to keep the feel to downtown Mesa.
That's cool. Do you like that idea? That's awesome. Well, thanks, Jen, for being here. And yeah, definitely do come back and keep us posted on what's going on. We always want to know where to go. So
thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please, big round of applause for Jen Schrader. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Good to have you here. Next up, our segment is for the, sit down, have a chat with us. These guys do this just to get a little camera time. Nicely done. And by the way, this is obviously the Cox Channel 11. You can watch this if you're not here, which by the way, you should be here in person, but we thank those of you at home watching on Cox 11. This is our mystery guest. We always invite people to come back to Mesa Morning Live and bring as many first-timers as you can. Today, we've got a big friend of the Mesa Chamber, and he's brought a new marketing director for his company, Cobblestone. How about a big round of applause for Mr. Joey McMorris? Joey, come on up here. Welcome, sir.
Morning. How you doing?
Mr. Cobblestone right here.
How you doing?
Have a seat, Joey. Good to have you here. What's going on in the car? You're loving this weather.
Oh, I love this weather. It can rain after 5 o'clock any day.
This is the king of haboobs. Which a couple of years ago you couldn't say that, but now, by the way, when did it stop being a dust storm and become a haboob? Do we have any idea?
I just think it was a news media word that they grabbed.
I like it. All right. Well, like you said, monsoon season's got to be good for business. Tell us what's going on with Cobblestone. Every time I turn around, there's a new one.
We've actually, yeah, so this year we're up to 19. We'll be at 24 locations by the end of the year, and 30 by the end of next year.
Wow.
We currently have 2 in Mesa, several in cities surrounding Mesa, and more to come.
That's great. What's driving this? Obviously, there's a demand for it. Are people just, their time is more valuable? You don't see people out in their driveway washing cars anymore.
No, it's, you know, you look at HOAs, or, you know, they just, you know, they're not allowed to wash their car at home, is a lot of it. But, you know, our goal is to make it convenient for our customers. And we started our unlimited wash plan, where customers can wash all they want all month long. And so we wanted to make sure not only were we close to your home, we wanted to make sure that you had a facility close to work, where you play, wherever you're at that you need your car clean. You just stop in, 3 minutes, in and out, and off you go.
That's awesome. And you know what? I don't care how old your car is. Doesn't it just feel better when you get a fresh car wash and you drive it? It just makes you feel, yeah. And I always get, let's see, my truck is now 6 years old, and I always get the new car scent.
There you go.
Because somehow it fools me for a minute to think, I got a new car. There should be, my wife's, thank you, folks, it's been a pleasure. My wife's got a kind of perfume called New Girlfriend Scent. That's where I was going.
There you go.
And it just never got there. Oh, my Lord. Can we rewind that? Start over? Well, I can't follow that. No, but there is a lot of growth, and it's because you guys do a great job. What I love about it, it's you don't just get your car washed. You go into the one I go to, you get the popcorn.
There you go.
You go free popcorn. You go sit, you watch a nice flat screen, watch some sports, free Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. My wife loves loves the greeting cards section that you have there.
There you go.
You can pick up a snack. I mean, that's kind of, you know, I got dental work done. No, that was a different place. But the point is, you can get a lot of stuff done at Cobblestone. So it's an all-purpose, one-stop
shop.
Yeah, there you go.
One-stop shop for your car care needs. We have taken going to get your car washed and turned it into an experience. And we want you to remember where you went by sight, by smell. You get into your clean car, you drive away, you're going to remember where you were.
By the way, most of them have if you've got little kids or grandkids, take them, because they get to sit there at the window with the
Super shooter?
the super shooter gun and shoot the cars as they go by with suds. It's pretty, I do that sometimes when I'm there.
Kids of all ages.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's cool. What would you like to tell us? Tell us about the unlimited wash plan. Is that a good deal?
It is a good deal. So, it starts with Express, starting at $16 a month. You can come as often as you want, come 2 times a day, every day if you want to. Our full service, Mark gets full service, so he likes to sit in there in the air condition while we do the work.
Exactly.
And, so to get the full service car that Mark gets, I think you're paying what, $21 for one car wash?
Yep.
For $29.99 a month, he can come every single day. So for $8 more, whenever his car gets dirty or he's driving, parks under a tree, the birds tag him and just come on back and wash your car. Makes it easy.
They hate to see me come in because I spend a lot of time up at our cabin in Pine Top, and there's just sap everywhere.
Oh,
So when I pull in, they all want to go on break. but they stick it out and do a great job, and it's like getting your teeth cleaned. Get your car cleaned, $1 a day, unlimited.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Makes it easy, makes it convenient. Like I said, with 19 locations in the valley, you're going to drive by a cobblestone.
Yeah.
And by the end of next year, we'll have 30 of them up there.
That's awesome. Well, we thank you for being our Mr. And who'd you bring today?
Oh, I actually brought Amanda. Amanda was one of our first-time guests. So she's our new marketing manager. This is her first week. I told her she got to go on stage, and she kind of sunk in her chair over there.
She was smart. She didn't get up here. Amanda, welcome to the Mesa Morning Live family. We look forward to seeing you come in here with Joey a lot. And thanks for all you do. Thanks for, how many people are employed now?
Cobblestone now employs almost 900 people valley-wide.
Wow, there you go. And yeah. So thanks for all you do. Keep Mesa clean. That should be the logo.
Absolutely.
I like that. Well, Joey,
Absolutely. Following Caliber, they build it, we'll clean it, right?
Amanda, this is why he's here. Little gems like that. Well, thanks, Joey. And our guests up here later on are going to thank you because we're going to do the monthly giveaway for Cobblestone. So thanks for all you do.
Thanks for having us, Mark.
All right,
Appreciate
take care.
Great to see you.
Joey McMorris, Cobblestone. Our next... I'm just kidding. Is that good? Are we good there? That was awesome. I had no idea there was a... Can we put an X on this? And I'll just... our next segment is the Community Spotlight. This is sponsored by Gateway Bank. They have been working successfully for more than 10 years to earn the opportunity to do business with you. So check out Gateway Bank. Please welcome to the stage, representing the Mesa United Way. He's a resident and the CEO, Mr. Mark Young. Mark, come on up.
Good morning.
Welcome, sir. Good to have you here.
Good to be here.
So, Mesa United Way is in the middle of the workplace campaign. Tell us what that is and what it's all about and what can we do?
Sure. So we're actually just getting ready to start our next year workplace campaign. So that's been United Way's way of raising money to help folks in the community. So you go in the workplace, you run a campaign, people can take some dollars out of their paycheck. It comes to Mesa United Way. Then we have a group of community volunteers that vet agencies and programs and distribute those dollars. That's part of what we do, and we're proud of that work.
I think all of us have grown up with hearing the term United Way. It's kind of one of those terms that it's always been in our lexicon. What exactly do you guys do?
So the workplace campaign is the traditional United Way method of raising funds. And we continue to do that work. But we're also involved in a lot of initiatives trying to fill gaps where services aren't being rendered. So we run an initiative called Helen's Hope Chest that deals with foster children. We run the VITA program, which a couple of years ago, which is volunteer income tax assistance, exceedingly boring to talk about, but a couple of years ago, brought back about $6.5 million to the community through tax returns. We run a program called 12 Books, where we help kids with literacy. This last year, we opened up with the Chamber and Mesa Community College, the Mesa Veterans Resource Center. And
I'm not.
Brian runs the Mesa Resource Center, so. And,
I wondered what that was.
Yeah, that's what it was. I thought a pterodactyl had come in. So, and we're expanding some of the work at Helen's, doing a program called Foster 360 to help kids transition out of foster care into normal life. So we're not only are we involved in raising money for all of the great work that goes on in Mesa, we're participating in that work through our own initiatives.
That's great. Well, if a business, I mean, look around. You got a lot of business owners here.
And if
they
we don't run a campaign with you,
yeah,
you should call. We'd be happy to. Talk to Alicia.
good. So how do they do that? They talk to Alicia?
Yeah, talk to Alicia. We'll come in, do all the work. It's a great way to support the community.
You know, homelessness, I know, is a topic that gets a lot of play, deservedly so. Tell us, what's the state of homelessness, not only in Mesa, but the Valley, and what are you guys doing to help?
Yeah, it's continuing to grow, not only in the Valley, but across the United States. So, you know, there's a lot of talk about the economy's great and everything's good, and there's no excuse for this. But the truth is, as the economy strengthens, rents go up. People who are underemployed can't afford rent, and so we find ourselves with more and more people on the street. LA in 1 year went from 25,000 homeless folks to 56,000 in 1 year. Wow. So along the West Coast and really all over America, that problem continues to grow. And I think we are concerned that those folks are lazy or panhandling or cheating, but the truth is there are a lot of folks out there that are working that can't afford a place to live, living in their car. The homeless representative for the schools has told us that last year in Mesa Public Schools, there was about 1,100 homeless children in the Mesa school system. So we've got a lot of work to do.
Wow, that is sad, and thank you for doing what you can to lower that number. It would be great if the United Way wasn't necessary.
Absolutely, that'd be best.
Would you work yourself right out of a job?
That would be spectacular.
Well, in the meantime, and back in the world of reality, thanks for doing everything that you're doing to try and decrease all these problems. Very briefly, talk about the children's literacy program. I know you mentioned that.
Sure, we run a program called 12 Books that helps kids with literacy through the 3rd grade, but we're also involved in the Mesa K-Ready program, which is the city, MPS, the chamber, Mesa United Way, and some other local partners working to help 4-year-olds be prepared for kindergarten. Not just the kids, but their families, understanding that mom and dad are the first best teachers. So we're working to increase that program and help the schools have kids ready when they come to school.
That's great. Well, Mark, thank you for being a regular at Mesa Morning Live and a very active member of the Mesa Chamber, and for all you're doing at the United Way. How about a big round of applause for Mr. Mark Young? Thank you, sir. Good to have you here. And by the way, I try and brag whenever I can. Speaking of children's literacy, I am now, I'm reading at a 3rd grade level. So, thank you for helping me with that. It's now time for a little fun, a little levity in the middle of the show. This is our Mesa Morning Live Top 10. Joining us on stage from our sponsor, the East Valley Tribune, please welcome Mr. Sean Hoy. Sean.
Good to see you, Mark.
Good to see you. Thank you. Sean, good to have you back. You weren't here the last one?
Chuck wanted to do it. Did Chuck do a great job?
Yes, he
I
did.
saw him, yeah. So he's over there now. He's
critiquing your performance. There's a lot of pressure on you.
There is. I got to read these.
It's a top 10, and what's the topic today?
It is
Sean?
the top funniest newspaper headlines.
Okay, let's...
Funniest.
A little backstory. These are actual headlines.
These are actually from the newspaper.
From newspaper, not from your newspaper.
No, these are not made up. These are real.
And these would not happen.
Google them.
These would not happen at the East Valley Tribune because you're very content-oriented.
Very.
And you have proofreaders.
Exactly. None are from the... Well, there's one, but you have to pick it out.
Okay. All right. I've done all I can to set this up.
You did
Sean
great.
Hoy, take it over.
All right, the first one, or I would say the 10th, is the Alton attorney accidentally sues himself.
Actual headline.
That's real. Second, the 9th one?
The 9th one, yes.
We just keep
See,
rolling,
it's the top
Mark.
10 list. We go 10, 9 that way, Sean. Okay, number 9.
Students cook and serve grandparents. A little bit of ranch.
Punctuation is, you know, you need a comma somewhere. It's like, let's eat grandma. No, it's let's eat, comma, grandma. Why am I even doing this?
All right.
Number 8.
8. Bugs flying around with wings are flying bugs.
That is a genius headline.
That is very true. Number 7, Utah Poison Control Center reminds everyone not to take poison.
Wow. All right.
These are all real.
Thank you, Utah.
Number 6, federal agents raid gun shop, find weapons.
Who would have thunk it?
Number 5, most earthquake damage is caused by shaking.
Wow. People are actually being paid to write these headlines. Good to
It's a
know.
learning experience. Breathing oxygen linked to staying alive.
That was from the Bee Gees.
That's a good movie. Miracle cure kills 5th patient.
Probably not the best cure. Number 2.
Number 2. We're going to get to number 1. Man accused of killing lawyer receives a new attorney. It's only fair.
The old one wasn't really that effective. And the number 1. Let's tease this. The number 1 goofiest, worst headline ever written is
Drum roll, please. State population to double by 2040. Babies to blame. The babies.
There you go. Well, let's blame the babies. Sean Hoy from the East
Thank
Valley
you.
Tribune.
Very nice. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, buddy. It was, those were awesome and true. And thanks for that. And we'll see you next month with another top 10 list from the East Valley Tribune. Hey, now it's a fun little segment of the show that's kind of new, and Mike Picard has pretty much taken this over. It's time for the Day in Mesa Morning Live. We're going to test your knowledge of Mesa Morning Live history, which is a very vast and rich history. Please join me in welcoming to the stage our segment sponsor, Mr. Mike Picard from Ocean Air. Mike.
Good morning, Mark.
Good to have you here, sir. Welcome. Give us a quick little commercial about Ocean Air. I know you're bummed out about the nice weather break, but...
It's not often it's July, and I'm the sad one in the room.
Yeah.
Under 100 for almost a week, this is killing me. But if you do need air conditioning work or watch your condensate lines this time of year, if they get plugged up and overflow, you can give us a call. Thanks.
There you go. Joey will keep your cars clean. Mike will keep your homes cool.
When you want to be comfortable, come to the ocean.
That's right. There you go. All right, now, so tell us what this segment's all about, Mike. How is this going to work?
This is a history. It's kind of a moment in time, a moment in Mesa Morning Live. I'm going to ask a trivia question. I'm going to pick a card out of the box, ask a trivia question about Mesa Morning Live to this lucky individual. If they get the question right, they get a $50 gift card.
$50 gift card, just for knowing your history. And when I pull your card up, come on up here and give us a quick little plug. And it is Marilyn Strumsness, PhD, licensed psychologist, which I need to talk to anyway. Marilyn, are you here?
I have never had a more excited contestant.
Wait, hang on a second. Would you not like to join us up here? Well, maybe it's your pleasant attitude. You know, I could send you to somebody that could maybe help you work through this. Would you like to maybe win a $50 gift card? Would you like for us to come out and visit you in the audience? Or would this doctor make a house call? You can tell she's a doctor because she made us wait. Nobody waits. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
I'm a licensed clinical psychologist. I have a home-based private practice here in Mesa, and I work with mostly trauma victims. I specialize in EMDR, and I see about 25 patients a week, and I work hard, and they work hard, and we all get better.
Well, good for you. Thank you. And I gave you a hard time, but thanks for being here. Okay, now, the way this is going to work, Mike's going to ask you a question. If you don't know the answer, that's not a deal breaker, because you can call on somebody in the audience, on only one person, that can help you with. It's kind of like a lifeline. Okay? So, Mike, and if you win, you're going to get a $50 gift card from wherever you want to go.
Okay. Can I guess or?
Well, yeah, you can guess, or you can ask somebody to help.
Okay, I got it.
Can I walk you through this a little bit?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. Would you like to lay on a couch? Would that help? I'm just a jerk is all I am. All right, Mike, I'm going to shut up. You read the question.
I'm kind of enjoying this, though. So. All right, this is going to require you to have been around for a while. Mesa Morning Live was not always planted here at Crescent Crown. It was kind of a traveling show before. Name one of the first 2 locations to host Mesa Morning Live.
All right, I want my lifeline to be Mr. Langkildy.
Jared,
It's Jared.
before being here, don't help Jared. How's he ever going to learn if you help him?
We used to hold this at the country club
No, we didn't.
before it became Mesa Morning Live.
Yeah.
And then it was at the Arizona Golf Place.
Are you asking me or telling me?
That's my final answer.
The-
Do you have another lifeline you'd like to use?
Let me walk you through this. A lot of times it helps if you ask the smartest person in the room.
Okay.
I kid, but he knows.
I have my second lifeline, and I'm going to ask Sally.
We've got to put more limits on the lifeline.
I know.
Good job.
Congratulations on pulling that out of your hat somehow. Thank you. You need to split that with Sally. Take her to lunch. And thanks for being here. And thank you, Mike, for being the man. You know, how awesome would that have been if Sally didn't know? That would have been, no, good for you. That's cool. And if you want to be a potential winner like Marilyn was, drop your business card in next month and we'll do it all over again. Okay, now it's our featured guest, and we normally have a featured guest. Today we have 3 of them, and what a pleasure this is. Please welcome, help me welcome the following panel of executives involved in the transformation of Downtown Mesa. From the Downtown Mesa Association, Mr. David Short. From Sunbelt Holdings, Justin Graham. And from 3W Management, Mr. Tony Wall. Come on up, gentlemen. Welcome, gentlemen. Good to have you here.
Morning.
Come on in. Look.
Morning. I'll sit on that one. The hot seat.
They're all jockeying for position. Thank you. Good to have you gentlemen here. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Well, David, let's kick off with you. You've been on the ground in downtown Mesa for some time. What changes have you seen, and what changes can we look for in the near future?
Well, we are very excited about the changes we're going to see in the future. I've been here 8 years now. My first 3 were light rail construction, which was putting the parts in place for what's to come now, and what Caliber's doing, the new projects, new market rate residential. I think the city's mentioned 1,500 units in the future that are going to come downtown. The new retail space, and then what Caliber's doing with the existing historic buildings, activating those. You know, everyone in Mesa to come enjoy downtown and what it used to be and what it will be in the future. It's exciting.
Well, Tony and Justin, talk to us a little bit about what attracted you to opportunities in downtown Mesa.
Well, I think Mesa makes a lot of strong statements just demographically to develop the community. And when we began our research and our due diligence, it became very clear that the demographics made sense to us. But further, I think the business-friendly climate, development-friendly climate that we've encountered and the support from the city has been what put us over the top.
That's great. You know what? Maybe it would be beneficial if, very briefly, let's go down the line. Give us a little, what's your background and how do you come at this? Where is your history?
I grew up in a family construction business. My grandfather told me never to go into the business. I went into education because I loved children and wanted to coach football. And I quickly began building schools, and $1 billion worth of schools later, we were a private entity here in Arizona. We're based in Ohio. We are Ohio State football fans. There are probably 10 or 20 in the audience right now. But that's an important part of us.
Or maybe you're alone.
I-O.
There you go.
See, they're right there.
There you go. Buckeyes. And Justin?
Yeah, so at Sunbelt Holdings, my background is as real estate and as a former real estate attorney, but I'm a project manager with Sunbelt Holdings now. We have the former AutoNation Brown & Brown car dealership site just east of the Mesa Arts Center. And Sunbelt historically was a master plan developer throughout the Southwest, but over the last more or less decade have made a move towards more urban infill. And so we approached this as a really great opportunity after our experience in downtown Phoenix and in Mesa, Marina Heights along the waterfront there. There was something unique about Mesa in that it was a really interesting opportunity for urban redevelopment where there's all these parties at once who are really committed not only to a vision of Mesa, but towards working together, which is something we have never really experienced in any other market we've worked in. So.
All right, and David?
I've run and managed downtowns for the last 20 years. I was in Fort Collins, Colorado previous to here, and I saw the potential that was coming in Mesa. And so we run the business improvement district for downtown, do maintenance, marketing, events, and run the parking in downtown.
So getting back to you, Tony, what projects are you involved in now? What's happening?
We're working on the grid, which is on Main Street and Pomeroy at the intersection of Mesa Drive and Main Street. The grid is an opportunity for us to build on top of and around an underutilized parking garage, which has been in place since 1985. It's a concrete monstrosity that will take advantage of its strength and build above and around and on an adjacent parking lot adjacent to Benedictine University. We'll include nearly 200 market rate apartments, some flats and micro units, in addition to some row homes and office and retail space, a true mixed-use project.
You know, last month we had a gentleman on that was talking about the future of transportation and how it's changing everything. So when you mentioned mixed use, I mean, that's a huge, looking forward, that's huge. Justin, what's Sunbelt involved with right now?
So on our site, which is more or less 10 acres, the former AutoNation, is being designed as a truly maybe even more mixed use than anything we've ever done before. It'll have multifamily components, office, retail, and at this point, most likely a hotel component as well, all on that site, integrated in a pedestrian, transit-oriented manner.
And what's the physical location of that site?
It's just east of the Mesa Arts Center on what today has, after the remediation and demolition, is essentially a surface parking lot.
Wow. And what kind of time frame are we looking at on these projects?
We hope to break ground in the next 45 days.
Oh, wow. Okay. There you go. And you mentioned Mesa being very business friendly. Are they working with you to try and make these things happen in a timely fashion? I hear so many horror stories around the country of, especially let's pick on California, where you can't even get a permit to do anything. It takes forever to just break ground, and people are saying, forget it, let's go build in Mesa.
No, it's a different scenario for us, and a city that, you know, I think in a few years when we look back at the case study of this project, you'll see this underutilized garage, and the city was wise enough to accept our idea of could we build on it, around it, and the city's been very supportive. And the opportunity to work directly with staff and working through design-related issues has been very positive for us.
That's great. Has Mayor Giles been an asset in this?
He has been, because we can talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he supports our work in downtown. His greater vision of downtown, which is very education-based, drives much of what we believe in. And the opportunities to add to that education base, which really is what creates a sustainable city, is a great strength for Mesa.
Well, we're a big fan of Mayor Giles here at Mesa Morning Live. You probably don't know this, but a lot of times when I'm on the road and can't be here, he fills in for me doing this. So there is talk of me filling in for the mayor. What do you think? Don't you think that would be awesome? So if at any point
You might want to reconsider.
well, if at any point you have some paperwork that needs to, and he's
That's great.
come in when I'm mayor for the day, and I'll just rubber stamp this whole thing. Well, that's cool. And Justin, any kind of time frame on you?
So ours will be probably a phased project, but we are already starting to take the first portion of it to market and been talking to buyers as we speak. So.
This is kind of open to all of you. If I had a crystal ball here and we could look out to 2025, what would you like to see? And the second part of the question is, what is realistic for the look of Mesa in conjunction with, on its own and also integrated with the Valley? That is the most complicated question I've ever had. But you know where I'm going with this. What do you see down the road?
Well, I see a lot of body heat coming to downtown. There are going to be new families, new residents in downtown, and it's been 30 plus years since there's been a new housing opportunity, within that downtown mile. So here's that new opportunity, and the projects that Justin's working on and that we're working on will bring new residents. Those residents then are going to be looking for entertainment and opportunities, and we have an opportunity to blend the existing with some new entertainment opportunities that will just be created a very dynamic place. You tie that back again to the educational piece, and with ASU coming along, which will be additive to what's already here, the work that's happening at Benedictine and the tremendous impact they've had on downtown is certainly a very strong statement.
And this is just a suggestion to all of you. As you build Mesa, put a lot of outlets in, places for people to charge their phones, because I don't know if you've noticed it, but a lot of people are on their phones a lot, and they need to be recharged. You ever been fighting for an outlet at an airport? It's like a bunch of crackheads looking for a place to plug their phone in. It's unbelievable. Justin, David, what would you like to see happen, and what do you think will happen?
Well, we're really excited about the opportunity to help further the progress towards Mesa, downtown Mesa in particular, becoming sort of a node in the Valley, an urban node and a center for Mesa to live, work, and play in, but also a place that is accessible by transit to the other great urban nodes of the Valley. I think that's a strong trend that we see around the country and in the Valley already, and we're excited to be a part of that here.
We see downtown Mesa come alive when we put events on, and the community wants to come support and enjoy their downtown. And with this development and everything new that's coming, it's going to be a vibrant, energetic downtown, morning, noon, and night with new residents, students. It's just going to be hustling and bustling and neat to see,
If you were talking to a bunch of people that weren't Mesa residents or people familiar with, but maybe people around the country, what would you like to tell them about Mesa? Why Mesa? Why should they come spend their vacation here, their entertainment dollars here, or possibly move here? What's the drawing?
Well, the Mesa Arts Center is a tremendous facility, and with the international renown, and we don't take advantage of it enough in the Valley as a whole, would be my opinion. It's a tremendous draw. You've got baseball, you've got athletics, you've got tremendous weather, you've got a very friendly environment to be in, and an opportunity to spend time and be part of a community that's very open.
I like that. Justin, anything you'd like to?
Agreed. All that and more. I think that when you really spend time, start to walk around, as someone who didn't really grow up in Mesa, there's this sort of intangible coolness and authenticity to downtown Mesa that's kind of hard to find in a lot of, especially in the Valley. And so I think both for locals and people from around the country, I would encourage people to come spend time and check out what's already going on. The future looks great, but today I think the experience is already surprising and very cool.
Downtown Mesa is a hidden treasure. It's authentic, it has history, and the amenities that are down there are wonderful that people don't realize with the Art Center, the museums, amphitheater. It's a special place.
Boy, and not to overdo this, but the Mesa Arts Center is has anybody not been to the Mesa Arts Center? Anybody? Wow, you need to
it's a
go
treasure
check it out.
for
It is truly world class. There's how many different theaters? Sally, how many different theaters inside there? Like 5 or 6? 4. That was close to 5 or 6. There's any kind of show you can think about will come through down. And you know what? It needs to be used. Go check it out. It's truly beautiful. And we all know about spring training. It's so funny when I'm on the road and I talk about being from Arizona. Everybody's got a little bit of knowledge of Arizona depending on what baseball team they support, you know. And the Cubs and the A's, you know, they're just, I mean, Mesa's home.
Yes, absolutely.
Anybody have? By the way, if you've got a question, maybe raise your hand. I'll call on you. We'll run a microphone out to you. Otherwise, let's turn this into a commercial for why Mesa. Let's.
Exactly.
By the way, what is the population? Does anybody know this? This is open to anybody. What's the population of Mesa?
Nearly 500,000.
Nearly 500,000. Wow. Who's been here the longest? I'm going to guess. Let's go back. Who's anybody a Mesa resident since? Oh, Mr. Rhodes. There you go. How many years? 1946. Well, we may have a winner. And what was the population in Mesa in 1946? About 15 or 16,000, not including your family, because that was a big part of that. 15,000 to almost 500,000 people. So, and there's a reason for that. It's a great place to live, work, and play.
36th largest city in the country.
36th largest. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Larger than Miami, Oakland, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, cities of that size.
Boom, there you go. See, ask and you shall receive. And I'll tell you what, the Mesa Phoenix Gateway Airport, boy, what a great story that is. That's going to continue to bring more people out here. So the trick is they'll bring them in and you guys got to make them want to stay.
Exactly.
We'll do that.
We hope to.
That's great. When you talk about mixed business and you're talking about places to live, you know, everybody's saying that the big McMansions and things like that are maybe going to be a thing of the past. It's only going to be more condensed living and what do you see going on in downtown Mesa for that?
Well, I think we have a variety of housing. And in our project at the Grid, we have 3 different very specific housing types with market rate apartments, with a micro unit, and with row homes, three-story townhouse type product. So there's a versatility. And in an urban environment, you're seeing smaller size residences, and there are people that are downsizing from the McMansions and becoming very comfortable in a smaller, more urban place that they have access to amenities. They can walk to dinner, they can walk to the theater, they can walk to activities, and they can conduct business. And in our project specifically, we create a neighborhood with retail space, with office space, and a residential piece tied into it. So our project becomes a neighborhood within the urban environment.
Well, I think that downsizing is maybe it's just the age where I am now, but anybody else interested in maybe downsizing and trying to simplify their life a little bit? My wife, yeah, there we go. My wife is wanting to do it. She's looking for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, no kitchen. Something to look into. Yeah. Something to look at. I have no idea where this is going. Any other questions or comments for these guys? If you were called into a meeting on what would you like to see Mesa evolve into, now's the time to suggest it. We got a lot of brain power up there from here over on this stage. So if anybody's got any, yes. Oh, here we go. She's got $50 to spend.
She's rich.
I'm just wondering if there's any conflict between the contemporary work you're doing and with our first speaker, who's really focused on historical aspects of Mesa, if there's any conflict.
I think the answer is no. There's a blending, and I think some of the things that we're seeing just east of our project on the LDS site is an example of that. The temple and its history and the renovation that's happening there, and then kind of a transition piece with the work that the folks from City Creek are doing in their mixed-use piece to our piece, which is more contemporary and by design, is a blending of what happens. And then we tie into the Benedictine building with the red brick and the history that it brings. So we've begun to bring the historic piece and the more contemporary pieces together and create a fabric in downtown that becomes very interesting and very sustainable.
Yeah, and I completely agree. I think that's one of the things that I know drew us to Mesa is the opportunity to work closely with them, which is not an experience that you find other places. We're rooting for them, I think, as hard as anyone, because I think this is a situation where we're all gonna thrive together. So we continue to work closely and make sure that nothing we're doing is detracting from their vision or their efforts down the street.
I do have a quick question here. Here we go.
Oh, thank you. What are micro residences? I haven't heard of those.
It's for very small people.
That's right.
There's a height limit? Not really. They have tall ceilings. A micro resident is really a flat. It's a very urban type of housing option. You'll see it in New York, San Francisco, LA, major cities happening today more and more. Ours are approximately 400 square feet. Bedroom, kitchen, living space, very open, a lot of natural light, very sleek type place.
But it's like a type of apartment, or they have, what are, I mean?
There's this type of apartment.
Type of apartment,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
All right, thanks.
You know what? We got time. Here we go. Mr. Rhodes.
You guys have been talking about properties that are on or near Main Street on the south side.
Correct.
Anything shaken between, say, Mesa Drive and Center on the north side of Main Street?
There is currently an RFP out for master planning what has been referred to as Site 17 or Mesa and University Drive, which that is prime property to redevelop and will be a great amenity to downtown once it is.
Well, hey, we're running shorter on time than I realized. I do have a little trivia question for the audience. I want you to look at these three distinguished guests. One of them has pitched a no-hitter in baseball. I want you to focus in. You don't have to tell me who you think it is, but in your head. And then will the person that pitched a no-hitter, I don't even know the answer to this, raise your hand. Who threw a no-hitter in baseball? Let me rephrase that question. Who pitched two no-hitters? Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, now, you know, his one arm's longer than the other. When and where, and tell us, brag about yourself a little bit, Tony.
High school.
High school?
It was high school. They couldn't hit me.
Now you were in high school.
I was. At the time. No, at the time,
were they
I was
little
actually
leaguers?
25, but I was playing high school.
Yeah, he was 25, but he was pitching in high school. Well, good for you. And where was that? Was that back in the Midwest, or
It was
no?
in Amherst, Ohio.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, as a natural tie-in, have you noticed the Diamondbacks lately? Could you maybe pitch for them?
I probably have one inning. One inning, yeah.
Well, that's more than Shelby Miller had.
That's true. My elbow's in better shape than Shelby's.
Wow. The Diamondbacks are in
But there's another baseball trivia.
Okay, here we go.
Justin's dad took part in a triple play in baseball.
I think he was 12, but that's right. But he'll tell you about it if you ask him.
That's right.
I don't know what's weirder, that you knew that, or that it actually happened. Well, we've got a distinguished David, any baseball tie-in for you?
I caught a no-hitter.
Did you really?
Yes.
We went to high school together.
Yeah.
Only one, though.
This is somebody's lying to me here. Well, in all seriousness, guys, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedules of building Mesa to come to Mesa Morning Live. We couldn't help but notice that the construction business can be very, very messy, very dirty, and you have 3 dirty cars out there. Right. So Joey McMorris wanted to do something about that. So we have, pass these on down, $100 gift card.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
To go get your car detailed at any of the 19 cobblestone. Do these ever expire? No. Never expire? Hang on until there's 30 of them. We don't care.
Okay.
Then you can have your pick, but go get your car detailed. In all seriousness, are you guys going to hang around for a little bit afterwards? Sure. If anybody, this show's almost over, so, and then we're going to go drink. Right here.
Beer over here, right?
I've heard there's beer.
So stick around. If you got any questions for these gentlemen, make sure you ask them. And thanks for all you're doing to make Mesa an even better place to live, play, and work. And pleasure having you on here. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Justin. Thanks, David.
Very much.
Thanks for being here. All right, folks. Well, we'd like to close this out. Let's see if we're on time. Yeah, we're on time. We're going to get you out of here on time. Thank you so much for coming to July's episode of Mesa Morning Live. We'd like to thank all of our guests. Big round of applause for everybody that was up here today. Thanks, Cracker Barrel, for feeding everybody. Thanks, Channel 11, for putting us on TV. Make sure you come in. We do this the second Friday of every month. Next month, Bob, who's our special guest? To be announced. It's not who it says it's going to be here, is it? No. Okay. So you just threw me a curveball? All right, that's cool. What? Hey, wait, hang on. Yeah, Sally would like to. Okay, so Mesa Community College in the Performing Arts Center, which is a great place. We were there before. It's always a lot of fun, and what makes it fun is having you guys here. Do yourself a favor. Let's pack this place. Let's pack Mesa Community College. Bring a couple of guests in, and we'll see you next month. Folks, go out and make it a great day. Stay cool. I'm going to Alaska for 3 weeks. I'll see you when I get back. Thanks.
Think about direction, wonder why.